Well, that's what my screen currently looks like. As you can see, it is wider. The picture is wider than my screen, and I actually had to put it into wide angle so it doesn't like flow on top on the bottom as well. So I can kind of deal with this for the meantime, but I can't wait for my bigger screen to arrive. That's just going to be a blast. So the other thing is I had to install a new bulb in my projector yesterday, which surprised me because the image was very bright the day before, and yesterday it was all gloomy and dim. But I'm not surprised because this is, you know, after 3 years, it's kind of, most bulbs only last 2 or 3 years. So this bulb lasted 3 years, and that's a really good time because the bulb is only like $90. So if you only have to spend $90 for a bulb every 3 years, that's really not a big deal. So another thing that happened yesterday is after I finally installed my bulb, I was ready to play Battlefield 4, but I couldn't because the EA servers were down again. And Battlefield didn't really say anything about it, which was weird or typical because for some reason they're just not really good at informing their customers about what's going on, or better yet, it's not like DICE, it's EA. So I went on Twitter and I saw I was not the only one having these issues. So I was like, thank God, you know. Some people were actually saying that their stats got reset to 0. That's kind of sucky. So I went on and played a little bit of Battlefield 1943, which you see here, and I didn't really do so well because, you know, the controls are all turned around from Battlefield 4, and I happened to push the wrong buttons all the time. But it was fun anyway. And then finally I was able to get on Battlefield 4, as you can see here. It was really late already when I finally was able to get on. I think it was like after midnight. And I was only able to play a couple of games before it was bedtime for me. And I was really, really tired. And I was kind of like disappointed that I couldn't get on until so late. But, you know, I always have to have a good Battlefield match before I go to bed because that's always something that's kind of like a must for me. That's like, you know, when you were a little kid and your mother came and read, you know, a little fairy tales to you before you went to bed. So this is my little fairy tale story before I go to bed. I play a little bit Battlefield, and that kind of puts me to sleep really well. That seems to sound funny, silly, but that's how it always was with me in video games, that, you know, before I go to bed I have to have a good match and I sleep much better than if I didn't play or if I had a shitty match. So we played a little bit of Rush here on Flood Zone, and we did really well here. I didn't post the match that we had before we were defending. We were actually beating them out, defending successfully. The match basically ended on those roofs. The enemy was not able to take the rooftops. I didn't want to post this because I just hate when videos get too long, and you know, I think you have to like listen for me longer than, you know, 10-12 minutes babbling away. And I don't even know if you like to listen to what I have to say, because I still haven't really gotten a lot of feedback on my videos with the commentaries. I don't really always know if I'm on the right track or not. So I'm basically just doing what I enjoy doing, what I feel is right. Until someone tells me otherwise. It's probably not going to take just one person to tell me. You know, if I collect some feedback and several people say the same thing, then I will change my strategy. But right now, this is just how I go. And, you know, I do get new subscriptions and I, you know, get views. So I assume I'm doing something right. So anyway, I don't know if you were affected yesterday by this Battlefield downtime. I think it only happened on the Xbox 360 as far as I heard when I did some research on the internet. And I wasn't really too concerned. I was just more concerned about if they were hacked again and if the hackers actually would be able to mess with the stats of the players and reset everything to 0 for everyone. That would be a little bit sucky. Like I said before, it's not the number, not the ranking that would be sucky. I mean, you can rank up again But you know, having all your upgrades and weapons and everything that reset to the beginning, which is what people really were saying yesterday. Were saying, "Oh my God, I have to, you know, I have only a starter weapon. That's all I have. All my weapons are gone." That would be very frustrating, and I don't know if I would have it in me to start the whole thing all over again with the beginner weapons. I don't know. I probably will move on to a different game, especially since now Titanfall is like just around the corner. By the way, Titanfall, I just found out yesterday, for Xbox 360 is not coming out until March 25th, which is about 2 weeks after the one for Xbox One is coming out. Xbox One is coming out March 11. Xbox 360 is coming out March 25th. But, you know, there's so much hype about this game. And yes, the game looks fun and all, but I'm still very, you know, not so optimistic about this game, because a lot of times games that get hyped like this end up not being what people were expecting. And look at this guy. I mean, I don't know how many bullets I had to put into him until he finally died, and then of course I got taken out. But yeah, back to Titanfall. I don't know. They haven't really showed us as much as that I would get, you know, more excited. I personally just think, yeah, it's what kind of bothers me a little bit is like those mechs are running around. I think, you know, whenever you put in like, you know, really, really strong vehicles, or, you know, those huge mechs, you can just imagine that there could be a problem with, you know, an imbalance. That, you know, I'm a foot soldier. I love to, you know, play infantry. I'm like always on my feet. I run around. I feel like I'm quick. I'm small. I can run around. I can flank. You know, if you know, I'm in a big vehicle, I'm an easy target for all the rocket launchers and whatnot. And if you're in the mix, you know, you move really slowly and all, but also you are very, very strong. You can just, you know, shoot the heck out of everyone around you if you're really good. And, you know, the problem with Call of Duty was always like the kill streaks. I always thought in Call of Duty that bare bones was the most enjoyable match type, or, you know, whatever you call that, where it was really coming down to the skills of each player. It's like whoever was good, a good shooter, was good at aiming, was very accurate, did really well in the match, and everyone else just didn't. Also, well, it came down a little bit to strategy, to, you know, how you play, not just how you shot your enemies. But, you know, in the other games plays, it was like, you know, somebody got like 3 kills in a row, they got a kill streak, and then they got more kills, and then from that they got another kill streak, and they got more skill. And there was just constantly stuff just pouring down on you. You can't even leave the building as soon as you stepped out. There was just like some bombs, stuff falling on your head, and it just kind of took away the fun. And I'm not the only one here. I've talked to a lot of gamers, and they said the same thing about Call of Duty, that those kill streaks are just really, 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 you know, frustrating and annoying, and that they moved on to games that don't have kill streaks. And that's what I enjoy so much about Battlefield. And in Titanfall, I think, you know, I don't know exactly how it works, you know, how you get the mech, if anyone can just take one, or if you have to earn it or whatever. But I could just imagine the guys that have them and are very good at operating them, they're just going to rack up kills and kills and kills and kills. And everyone else that doesn't have them, you know, has to somehow be able to take them down. And, you know, if they can't take them down, they just, you know, die all the time. And, you know, then the other thing is there's only 6 versus 6 players. The maps are rather small. So, I don't know. I personally think the game will not do as well as people expect. But we'll see. I may be wrong. That's just my personal feeling. And a lot of times I, you know, have the right feeling somehow. I don't know why about games. When I think something is not doing well, it doesn't do well. But I don't want to be pessimistic here. You know, if it does really well, then that will be great. But that's why I'm not really sad that I have to wait until March 25th. And I don't mind getting this game, you know, on 360 and not Xbox One. So you can tell me what you think about this, but I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.